It's MG Rob back with you, and today we're getting back on the Healey 3000 rear brakes. Now, if you recall, for those of you who have watched my last video on this, you'll remember that we had some problems with the rear wheel cylinders. Now, if you didn't see the video and you want to see it, I will try to see if I can put the link in one of these two corners. If not, it'll at least be in the description. So what we had was we bought the aftermarket wheel cylinders and they didn't quite fit. So I decided I was going to go ahead and order the TRW ones. Well, I called and placed the order on the wheel cylinders, and this is what we got. That's right, nothing's available. So we've got to work with these. So I got to make these work. So I'll be grinding on them a little bit to make them fit the way they should into the backing plates. So with the TRW ones, there actually was a fitment note about them, about filing or grinding on something, and I can't remember exactly how it was put, but I think it was actually talking about the top part here to fit through the hole. But, so I'm not going to feel bad about grinding on these to make these fit. So what I did, starting with, to figure out what I needed to do, is I started out by taking my calipers here, and I verified that this dimension and this dimension are the same. And then I checked this dimension here and checked that against this one and found out that this one's much taller. It's harder to measure because the shoe's not as big, and then this isn't quite flat either. So what we need to do is we need to take some off of this to get this the same height as that. And then this isn't deep enough because, you know, this doesn't fit there and go flush. So we need to grind those deeper as well. So now we just got to make them fit. Well, here goes nothing. So here is my modified wheel cylinder. So after getting this the thickness right and getting this the same as this, now I'm grinding that. Now I can put this in there and it actually clears there. So now it should all fit within the backing plate like it should. Now all I got to do is do the other side, and then we can put these in the car. So now that we got these things modified where they should fit just fine, we're ready to put these things in. Of course, I left the little plastic plug in here while I was doing that, so no shavings will get inside there. And then I've cleaned it up really good to get rid of any of the metal dust and stuff. So we're ready to go in. But we're going to start here by getting the e-brake lever put in here. We also got this boot that goes on here. Now, these go together so that when you're putting this together on the back side, you're going to get that thing slid through there. There's two little notches right here. But this thing should go in, and those should pop just under those notches when it's on the backing plate. So we get that through there. And that's lined up there. Pop out our little plug, and then we can put this through here. Well, this can be a little bit interesting because these little clips aren't exactly the easiest things to get slid in there, but that's the next thing. So this bowed one, you're going to put that in there, and this is the hard part, is getting it past here, getting it all, whoops, to go in like it's supposed to, which is a lot of the reason why we had to modify it, because there was no way it was going to make it past it with all this stuff sitting the way it was before. So you can get this Just need a longer screwdriver than this. And with this here, you can kind of press against the spring there a little bit. That helps you get some leverage. And you want to get this sitting within that seal there. And then bring the next piece on up in there. Until they lock together. Just like that. And then we can tighten this brake line here and go back to the front side and start putting all the shoes on. So before you go and throw the shoes in there, of course, we got to finish putting the adjuster back together. You have all the wedges here that go in here. Now, you should do a little something to lubricate these. You could use anti-seize, or you could use brake grease, whatever you want, whatever words you have on hand. And you could even use a little dab of wheel bearing grease too. And the good thing about that is not only will it help lubricate these so they don't seize up on you in the future, but it will actually hold those in place while you're assembling things. Otherwise, they just fall right out because of the angle, or at least the front one will. Now, many years ago, my dad taught me to do brakes. He always told me, do one side at a time. Because that way, if you get in there with the shoe and you go, which way do these go? You can always just go back to the other side and double check that side to see what you're doing here. Same thing with any of the springs or any of the hardware. You can look at that side to see what you need to do on this side if that side's still together. So in this case, we know this hole has to go over this lever. And it's also not a bad idea to do a little anti-seize or something right there. And on this one here, we just have 2 springs. Now I like to usually put the springs in the back side like this, but you can put them on the front side too. Seen people doing both ways, and either way it still works. And usually on any of the old British stuff, the shoes are actually quite simple, not that many holes, but they're going to all have that hole in there for the here, and that one usually goes up here, opposite. So then I just do this, hook it there, and then we just pull down. And then you see the wheel cylinder slides back and forth here. That's to keep it centered up as wear happens, and when you do the e-brake and stuff like that, because if you leave the e-brake on, you might wear this one more than this. And that'll just always keep it centered when you hit the brakes. So that's pretty much putting the shoes on right there. Now the parking brake works by, when it pulls out, it just pushes this shoe out against the drum, and then when it hits the drum, it'll actually push this one against the drum so that both of them are doing their job against the drums. So the next thing we got to do is put the clevis pin back in there, which I'm going to go ahead and hit this with a wire brush, clean it up, and lubricate it first before putting it in. But then we're pretty much ready to just check the condition of the double check the condition of the drum, clean it up, put it on, and do the other side, and that's the rear brakes.